Hello again, and welcome to this session. If you are joining this session, my guess is that you've joined other sessions in the Customer Day as well. So I'm going to be very brief. My name is Clara Custodio. I lead customer experience and support here at Consensus, and the Customer Day is that event where we try to give you as much knowledge as we can. And I get a lot of questions as to where can I go and keep on learning SAP Business One. There are many options, and I have decided to create this session to highlight my top 10 favorites. If you're joining this session, congratulations. This is the attitude. SAP Business One has so much to offer, and if you're really willing to give it your time and effort, you can learn a lot and take advantage of the system that you're running in. A brief reminder, this session is being recorded. It will be made available to you later by tomorrow. If you revisit our page, our Customer Day page, where you register to this session, you will see, instead of the link to register, you will see a link to watch the recording, okay? So it's very easy. You just need to go back to our website, Customer Day 2023, and you'll be able to watch the recordings right there and then. Let's meet in social media, and we'll share content similar to the one that we're sharing today, and content that we think might be useful for you. A reminder about our giveaway, just in case this is the first session that you're joining in our Customer Day. We are doing a raffle at the end of the Customer Day, later today, actually. And the more times you rate one of our sessions, one of the contents that we're sharing with you, the more opportunities to win a remarkable paper tablet. And it's going to be me in this session. I hope you enjoy it. If you want to use the Q&A functionality, if you have any questions, please just write it down on the Q&A in Zoom. If not, you can send me an email later if you have a question about any of the resources that I'm going to be sharing. I will be sharing with all of you a document with a link to access that resource. I go over a lot of web pages and portals, and you don't have to take note of the URLs. I will share by email a list of the URLs so that you can take action on what you're learning in this session. Okay, so I'm going to be now stopping my camera so that I can share the presentation with you. Thank you for being here. Hello, and welcome to this session on Places to Learn SAP Business One. My name is Clara Custodio. I lead customer experience at Consensus International. I always say that if you are an SAP Business One user and you keep on learning, the sky is the limit. SAP Business One is a very comprehensive system, and there's always more possibilities of realizing the value of the technology investment your company or you yourself made when you decided to purchase and run SAP Business One. There are many different training materials available for you out there, and the purpose of this session is to highlight our favorite ones and to guide you to the one that hopefully will serve you best. So let's start by reviewing the list of my 10 favorite places. If you see there, the last three ones, the SAP Business One Community page, Influence page, and the Support Launchpad, they have a little lock symbol by their side. That means that in order to access those three, you will need an S user number, which you can now convert into an SAP Universal ID, and we will review how you can request one at the end of this webinar. If you are an SAP Business One user, you have the right to have an S user ID, but not everybody needs access to these three last pages. You will see why when we go over the content. The first 7 options to learn SAP Business One are completely open for any user. You don't need an S user ID or anything of the sorts. And let's get right with the content, we're going to start by presenting our very own Consensus SAP One e-learning for beginners portal. The idea for this SAP Business One e-learning for beginners portal in our website was an idea that we got from customers' requests. Customers like you were letting us know that whenever they got new employees on board in their companies and those employees didn't know about SAP Business One, it was taking too long for them to introduce the personality of the system to these new users. And before they could start training them in their processes, they would have to invest a lot of time for them to understand basic navigation, etc. So we created this portal for that scenario. And you can find it under our website, consensusintl.com. You navigate to the resources menu, and the second option is this e-learning for beginners. What I like to point out about this portal is that we created a webinar series of 2, SAP Business One training for beginners, getting started 101 and 102. And the content that you will find in those open webinars, like I mentioned, is basic navigation, getting to know the screen, the icons, the toolbar, the golden arrow, how to create a new document or find a new document, what UDF is, the copy to and the relationship map, and some cool tips for beginners that will make your new users at ease with the system before you can actually train them in the process that they will be performing with SAP Business One. We created this content both in English, and if you scroll down a little bit, we also have these webinars in Spanish for those users that prefer Spanish as a learning language. If you keep scrolling down on this page that we call the Learning for Beginners, you will find access to other resources that are a little bit more advanced and that we are going to review later in this presentation. Also in our website, consensusintl.com, under resources, you will find the webinars and workshops page. We create a new webinar almost every month, and we record all our webinars so that you can actually revisit them at a different time. You will find a lot of different webinars here. You can see some of the latest webinars that we've done about WMS system, YSys, about support tips and tricks, out-of-the-box SAP Business One reports, fixed assets. There's a lot of content here that I recommend you navigate if you haven't done so already. I also recommend that you subscribe to our newsletter so that you get advance notice of the webinars that we do. The advantage of attending live a webinar is that you can actually ask questions to the consultant that prepared the content. This is one place where you will find a lot of webinars, like I mentioned before, and also under the menu resources, if you go down to the very last, you have access to the sessions that we have shared throughout our customer days since we started doing them virtual. Tips and tricks are a user's favorite. Every year in our customer day and throughout the year, users tell us more and more that they like tips and tricks because these are small bites of knowledge about the system that you're running with every day. And sometimes a very small tip can change the way you use the system or make it happen so that you can finish earlier with the task that you're performing, etc. We have put together all the tips and tricks in one single place, in one single portal within our website, and you will find it under resources. And if you scroll down to tips and tricks, you will come to this portal and you'll find individual very short videos with tips and tricks, as well as sessions of tips and tricks like this one, which is a one that is very, very liked by users of the finance module. So this is a session that we did specific for finance users with little tips that can really change the way you use the system. And you will also find, sorry, at the bottom of this page, the tips and tricks session of each one of the customer days that we have celebrated so far virtually. So you'll have access to all of this on this one page. When you navigate to Consensus International YouTube page, my recommendation is to click on playlists, and you will find our videos grouped in playlists. And if you look at the title, you're able to find what you're looking for faster. One of my favorite playlists here are the SAP Business One tips and tricks, the coffee and SAP Business One tips. But if you're looking for something more specific, you can also use the search functionality in our YouTube page. And basically what you can find in our YouTube page are videos, short, mid-length, with information about SAP Business One and what's coming next. SAP Business One official YouTube channel is also another very good source for learning about SAP Business One. They have their playlists already lined up. And my favorite here is what's new in SAP Business One. We try to show these videos as well on our YouTube channel, but they will for sure be available first in this SAP Business One official YouTube channel. You have also very specific web playlists on how to learn about the web client and about specific topics around SAP Business One. So again, another page where you will find a lot of useful information. To access the SAP Business One Academy on the Learning Hub, you will need to create an account, a simple account with an email address. To find instructions on a step-by-step guide on how to create your account for the Learning Hub, you can come to our website at consensusintl.com. Under Resources, you go to the e-learning for beginners, and after you scroll past the series of webinars for beginners, you will find this section on the SAP Learning Hub. This link takes you to a guide showing you a step-by-step of how to register to have access for the Learning Hub. Once you already have access, you can click directly here, and this will take you to the Academy, to the SAP Business One Academy on the Learning Hub. Once you click on Choose Your Learning Journey and you choose the SAP Business One 10.0 Learning Journey, you will be in a portal similar to this one. The portal shows you the logical order of the courses, but you can skip ahead and just choose whatever module interests you most. If you want to skip the introduction, for instance, and you want to go directly to pricing, take into account that the content shared in this portal, in the Learning Hub, is the content that the consultants use to get certified. So it's very comprehensive. It starts, as I mentioned, with the introduction, and then you can see that there's a lot of modules. We're going to just choose the purchasing module so that you see what it's inside each of these modules. So in order to see and learn what is included in this course, you click on the e-learning link, and this will take you to the details of this course. You need to click on Enroll, and once you do that, you are greeted with this progress bar, which will be, will be tracking your progress throughout the course. It also lets you know that approximately it will take you 4 hours to complete this course and the content within it. And then you have an outline of what's included. So procurement process, a simulation of a process, purchasing items, purchase requests and quotations. And then at the end of each block, of course, you have a little test so that you can prove your knowledge. You have additional content, for instance, this one's here called Solving Issues in Purchasing. So really interesting content, freight and landed costs. We're going to have a webinar very soon on that. And also included are case studies that you can go ahead and work on. And in this particular course, you also have a video. So you have written content, a video, a case study, you have a simulation. It's very, very complete, and you can work on these on your own pace. And remember, this is the content that our consultants use to get certified on SAP Business One. Once you have created your account with the SAP Business One Academy on the Learning Hub, please note that you can also access it directly from your system if you click on the menu Help and you go to SAP Links. You will find here a link called SAP Business One Training, which will take you directly to the SAP Business One Academy on the Learning Hub. If you type in on your navigation bar help.sap.com, please note that the content that you're going to be seeing could be in relation to any of the huge software portfolio at sap.com. What I've done in my case, if after navigating to the version of SAP that I work with, I have already selected this page as my favorite, but I always include this little warning when introducing the SAP Help Portal because you might get confused. Of course, everything is SAP. To us, when we refer to SAP, we're referring to SAP Business One. But if you go to the Help Portal and you don't narrow it down to SAP Business One, either version for SAP HANA or SQL, and actually the version that you're running, then you might get, content that doesn't really apply to SAP and to SAP Business One, and it might get confusing. So once you're here, as I said, my recommendation is to save this as your favorite. See here, these little arrows, you can actually choose to move to another version, one of the recent versions, but we should almost all of us should be already in version 10. And here you can also switch to a different language, and whatever is available, not every content is available in every language, but you can actually try and play with these little arrows in the menu. After that, the SAP Help Portal brings tons of information. You can navigate the information with this menu or this menu. It's actually the same. So you will see that, you have the Discover section with information, general information about SAP Business One. But here you have the roadmap, which is updated regularly, and that's very important. Latest innovations, etc. Then under What's New, it's specifically highlights of the latest versions. This, for instance, is a video showing the highlighted features of the latest release, the latest feature pack. And in general, there's a document here that I come to very often, which highlights what's being added feature pack through feature pack since SAP Business 110 was released, as well as previous versions. So this What's New page is section. It's very, very interesting. Under Implement, you have the Administrator's Guide and other content that it's a little technical, but which would be very interesting for IT profile users. Under Use, you can find the online help, which is how SAP calls the user manual. And you also find the list of SAP Business One how-to guides. Many of them are here, but you will find other how-to guides here, which are comprehensive PDF guides with a lot of details for specific functionalities in SAP Business One. Under Operate, as I mentioned, a lot of how-to guides. Under Develop, content for developers. And under Learn and Get Certified, we find a link to the SAP Business One Academy on the Learning Hub, as well as an appliance library and a link to the Learn About web client, which I also recommend that you explore. Directly from your home screen in SAP Business One and under the menu Help, you can also access the online help or the user manual that we find in the help portal on the first link under documentation. And if you use the context help and the what's this, it will go directly to the user manual on the screen that you're actually working on. So you need to have a screen open, or you have to be actively working on a screen to use the context help, which will take you to the relevant chapter on the user manual. And you can go to the SAP Help Portal by clicking on the SAP links, and it's the second option here, SAP Help Portal. SAP Community page is a fantastic resource to learn SAP Business One. If you notice at the top of the screen, there's a little note mentioning a new home in the new year for the SAP Community. This is basically because the platform they were using just got small for them. 3 million people log into the SAP Community every month to network and learn from the different softwares. So we are in the page of SAP Business One. The new platform in 2024, the first time you log into the community, you can actually go and read about the migration and join something new that is coming in the new community groups. They're going to have location community groups, so some very exciting things on the new community. So you can read all about it here. For now, we're just going to see what's available now, which is already super exciting for me. I'm sure you noticed that there was a little lock at the beginning of this presentation, signaling that for some of the content on the community, you will need an S user account. And as soon as the new community comes out on 2024, it's going to be an SAP Universal ID native platform. So you will need an SAP Universal ID for certain actions on the community. You can navigate the community as is without any type of account. It's open right now for you to navigate its content. But if you want to ask a question or write a blog post for those things, you will need to, in order to interact actively, asking questions or responding to questions or writing blogs, then you will need an S user account or an SAP Universal ID going forward. I don't actively contribute to this channel, but I do go to this channel very often. And one of my favorite contents, community contents, are the Q&A, but also the blog posts. So when you go to community content, you can actually type in keywords and it will bring you results, and you can actually filter by the filters on the right right-hand side. One of the things I love more about the community is that this is the place where SAP Business One support consultants come, as well as, for instance, product management team members of SAP Business One. They come and they contribute and they give explanations to many of the features. And the Q&A is, for me, a lifesaver. So I can just come in and check if somebody asked the same question that I have about SAP Business One, or a question that a customer is asking me. And I can just type in the question and I can find it. Most of the time, somebody else asked the same question and I can already read the answer. And I find that very, very useful. So good luck discovering the SAP community. As mentioned before, if you want to actively contribute, then you will need an S user. You can always contact us and we'll get that S user for you. SAP Customer Influence page is basically a place where customers can come and suggest innovation ideas, improvement ideas for the system. SAP actually listens. Sorry about that. And the way it works is you come into the Customer Influence page, and what they suggest is you first review what improvement requests have been already submitted. And if you find your improvement request already there, what you should do is vote for it, upvote for it. All requests with more than 25 votes get reviewed by the panel. And once they've reviewed, they might include it in a cycle, and you might see your improvement request in an upcoming feature pack or version of SAP Business One. It's really, really cool. And for this, in order to vote or in order to submit an improvement request, you will need an S number ID, and pretty soon, I'm sure, an SAP Universal ID. So stay tuned so that we can tell you how to do that. You can also access the SAP Customer Influence page directly from your system under the Help menu, and SAP Links is the fourth option, SAP Business One Customer Influence. Your Support Launchpad might look slightly different than this one because I am a SAP Business One partner, employee, and you will be seeing the version for customer, but you definitely will need an S user number or SAP Universal ID to access the Support Launchpad. And the type of content that you will access through the Support Launchpad is highly technical. So not every user needs access to this, but if you have interest in becoming an SAP Business One Master, or you are the administrator at your company for the SAP Business One system, or an IT, you will definitely enjoy having access to the content in the Support Launchpad. The Support Launchpad is also moving into SAP for me, and you will be greeted by this little announcement on top if you access the Support Launchpad soon. And you will be taken through the change step by step. But I want to highlight the type of content that you access in the Support Launchpad. So first of all, SAP Business One Notes, where they highlight bugs that have been identified and solutions or workarounds to problems. Our support team uses the Support Launchpad all the time. You also have SAP knowledge base articles regarding specific issues or functionalities. You have documentation that you can also find in the SAP Help Portal. You have guided answers, which is for me one a favorite, and I want to show you just one example. The guided answers are being created every month, and they help us troubleshoot. And you can also troubleshoot following the guided answers specific issues that you have. Let's see, for instance, this one, troubleshooting SAP Business One alerts. When you are experiencing a problem, then SAP guided answer is asking you to choose what is the scenario and what is the issue, what seems to be the issue. So I'm going to say internal alerts cannot be sent via email. And so as the guided answer is suggesting that we do some check-in. At the end of it, it's going to ask me, did it resolve my issue? If not, I will get back to another menu where I can choose other options. So really cool, the guided answers in the SAP Business One Support Launchpad. This is another example, probably very it's good to have this one at hand because period end closing is coming up, and you can experience different types of issues that can be solved using the guided answers easily. So at least one person in each company should have access to the Support Launchpad and be able to consume this content. If you still don't have your S user ID or SAP Universal ID, please contact us at support and we'll help you get it. This Support Launchpad can also be accessed from the SAP Help menu on top. If you go to Support Desk, you have the second option is the Support Launchpad and Node Search. It's important to understand that your S number and your SAP Universal ID are two different things. Your S number is going to be linked to your company that uses and has an active maintenance agreement with SAP Business One. So when we implement SAP Business One at your company, we name a system administrator within your company. That person is able to generate S numbers for the users that need them. If you are not clear on these or you need our help, you can always contact us at support@consensus.intl so that you get your S number and we identify who is your system administrator within your company, and we let them know how to generate S numbers for other users as needed. The SAP Universal ID is a new concept under which you can keep your S number, but your SAP Universal ID will stay for you for a lifetime. So if you change companies, you will be able to link your new S number, because the one with the company that you are today, if you do change companies, the S number might expire and you will have a new S number. So you will be able to link your new S number to your SAP Universal ID. I'm gonna next share a very short video on the SAP Universal ID, as it is a kind of new concept, and I would love for all of you to understand the advantages, as well as understanding that a lot of the platforms that we've shared are going to be SAP Universal ID native soon. So it is my recommendation that you go through these steps as soon as possible. Very important clarification, this SAP Universal ID or the S number have nothing to do with your credentials that you use to access your system. This is only to access information, learning, training materials on SAP.com, SAP Notes, the Support Launchpad, but not your system. This has nothing to do with your user that you use to access your own system. This is only to access SAP.com content.
Why should everyone get an SAP Universal ID? Simple, because it's the key to the SAP world. Soon it will be the only authentication method for all users. SAP Universal ID will be your identity for life. Creating yours is easy. 3 steps, 2 minutes, done. Let's find out how it works. To get your SAP Universal ID, go to account.sap.com and click the Register button. Next, fill in the required information and create your SAP Universal ID password. To complete the registration, just read and agree to the terms of use. Please provide the verification code you receive within 15 minutes to prove ownership of your email address. Easily link your existing accounts to your new SAP Universal ID with the click of a button. You can add additional emails right now or at any time at account.sap.com. All new and existing S users must be linked to an SAP Universal ID. The S user provides the authorization entitlement under the control of SAP Universal ID and remains the back-end authorization mechanism for all your support and service activities. We strongly recommend linking your personal email address as a backup to your SAP Universal ID so that you can continue to use your SAP Universal ID for a lifetime. If you change companies, your old S user ID will expire and be deleted by the company administrator. If you can no longer prove ownership of the previous company email address linked to your SAP Universal ID, your personal email address will provide continued access to your SAP Universal ID. Congratulations! Now you are ready to try out your unified login. At any time, you can visit the SAP Universal ID Account Manager at account.sap.com to view, update, and manage your personal information, account security settings, and associations to companies. Next time you want to use any of the platforms supported by the SAP Universal ID, you can sign in directly with your new login credentials. Just provide the SAP Universal ID email address and password, and you are all set. To keep yourself up to date on new features or to request support, please visit the SAP Universal ID website.
Please rate this video or send me an email to receive a document like this one with direct links to everything that we've shared, so that you don't have to waste your time looking for each one of these learning resource portals. I'm always open to your ideas. I thank you very much for watching. And please, if you need anything, don't hesitate to write to us or call us. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much for being here. I hope you learned something new, or you found a way where you can keep on learning. An invitation to rate this session, this content. Remember that we do want to improve every time, and this is the opportunity for you to let us know if something we're doing is working, or new ideas for new content. If you have, we really appreciate your feedback. So again, thank you very much. We still have 2 sessions to go for this customer day. Up next is a session on multi-currency in SAP Business One. If your company manages more than one currency, I really encourage you to participate in that session. Is a very thorough session prepared by our consultant Robert Mejia, and there's really a lot to learn in that session. And then later on, we have the tips and tricks. This year, we have included tips for new users as well, because that was the feedback that we got in our last 2 customer days. Some users were saying, all the content seems very advanced, and I'm a new user, so I would like something directly geared towards me. So we've included a little bit of basic tips on the tips and tricks session. But even if you're an advanced user, a refresher is nevertheless always interesting on tips. So I hope I see you all there, and thank you very much for being here. We really appreciate you. Have a nice day.